This dream trip to New York City for my mom and my aunt continues. If you missed the last episode, we were at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Today, we're heading to the top of One World Trade Center and photographing Central Park at night. We just arrived back at the Oculus. I find this building a bit confusing. It is supposed to resemble a white dove on the outside. On the inside, it's a cross between the Jetsons, an Icelandic cathedral, and the inside of Moby Dick.
Alright, this doesn't look like the inside of a dead whale anymore. It looks like the offices of Men in Black.
This is where you go to head to the top of the World Trade Center Observatory. I recommend going online and buying tickets ahead of time so you could choose what time you head to the top of the city.
Alright, we're heading up to the top of the World Trade Center.
Once at the top, you get a quick peek of the city before you're shuffled into a sales pitch to rent a tablet to enhance your experience. We're doing it the old-fashioned way of just enjoying the view.
You left me there in New York City. You left me and I couldn't see all the holes that you had filled in me. On the streets of New York City.
Well, what'd you think of it?
Speechless.
Alright guys, that was the top of the World Trade Center, so a few things I didn't like. Number one, when you got to the top you had to watch a show, and then you had to get ushered into an area to try and get you to rent things, and in that time you couldn't see anything. And then they also kept my tripod bottom, so I kept dropping my GoPro and I busted my stand. So the rest of these videos are going to be handheld. Well, if my camera angle's a little weird tonight, is because earlier today I broke my camera mount for my GoPro in the World Trade Center. They made me take the handle off, which also acted as a tripod, and when I was hand holding it, it slipped, hit the ground, and broke. So I got the replacement on order right now for when I get back home, so I've got to hand hold everything. So sorry if my camera angles are going to be a little bit off this evening, but it's the best you can do when your equipment's broken. Well, unfortunately, this bridge that I was hoping would be lit up is not lit up at all. So I'm going to set the tripod. We're going to do a really long exposure and see what I can capture in the ambient light and the reflections in the water. Yeah, it's absolutely dark over the water tonight. So yeah, let's set up and see what happens. Alright, so I got the cable release hooked up. I'm going to use my phone as my timer because I'm going to go beyond 30 seconds on this one. The problem is I'm having trouble with focus because it is so dark out here. I'm switching over to manual focus. There are lights by the bridge, so I'm going to try and focus those down to the tiniest points possible, which should give me the best focus. And we're going to go for a 45-second exposure here. My aperture, you can hear the subway is right behind me. My aperture is at f9. I'm at an ISO of 100. So again, let's shoot for 45 seconds, see what happens. Well, we're getting there. Had a little bit of a focus issue, so I zoomed my screen in as far as it can go and sharpened the image the best I could. Also, I'm having a dynamic range issue because of the lights behind the bridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a 35-second and then a 50-second. And we're going to combine them in Lightroom and see if we can handle more of this dynamic range. Alright, so I think I got it. Not sure, got to put it in Lightroom before we can figure it out, but it looks pretty good right now. So anyhow, I found a tunnel over there. We're going to go over and photograph it. It looked pretty cool. Okay, so here's the tunnel. And I like it. It's got a bunch of leaves on the ground off to one side. Very well aged. Got 3 lights inside of it, so let's see what kind of images we can capture here. Alright, looking at my brightest exposure, I can see that it looks like I need to bring it back just a little. See if I can capture more at the top of the tunnel as well.
When I developed the image, I saw a hint of blue light above the bridge and decided to bring it out just a bit.
Some of the best photographic opportunities you can find is through word of mouth, and I just paused my photography so a small group can take a few pictures here, and they showed me pictures of another tunnel about halfway through the park. So I was going to call quits, head back, but you know what? We're going to keep on going into the park and find this tunnel. It was beautiful with the nighttime sky lit above it. So, to be honest with you, something like this is what I would expect to find in Europe, not here in the States. So this is a really interesting find. The frescoes on the walls, yeah, they do remind me of what I would expect in Europe. This is pretty awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, it is time for me to get back. I actually saw a little puddle of water. It's frozen over, which means it's now really cold out here. So I'm going to call this one an episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see all of you in the next episode. Have a good night.